Vampyr. Ein Tag machen wir noch, dann ist meine Wenigkeit heute auch wieder erschöpft. Sind sie so reich?
Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Aha.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But
Dann hättest du gleich ein anderes gehen sollen.
considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially
Patricia stellt die Bibliothek des Brambrook Hospitals in Frage.
welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Aha.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
Okay.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Okay, okay.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Don't waste your time with me. Be sure we're making a difference.
Okay, also jetzt sollen wir erstmal noch zu Dr. Santi. So. Verlockendes Blut. Bedenke, dass dir das Blut von Bürgern eine große Menge EP gewährt. Suche Bürger nach einer Bandstufe oder niedriger und wähle einen mit Bedacht aus. Bandstufe ist 4. So. 4, okay. Das ist also die Bandstufe, okay. Ich will aber eigentlich zu Santi. Die Hawkins, wo sind die?
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Persönliche... Oh ne, schade. Okay, okay.
Goodbye.
Ich habe gedacht, ich kann sie jetzt befragen. Ich habe jetzt gedacht, ich kann sie jetzt befragen, warum sie für das Bett Geld abgeknüpft hat. Aber wahrscheinlich nicht so, okay. Hätte ja sein können.
Please, Jonathan, come in.
Komm in! Okay, ich komm doch schon.
Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes. The human body, biology's penultimate frontier. The more we explore its boundaries, the less we're able to trace a clear line between life and death. You, my friend, have a foot in both countries. The view must be vertiginous.
It's at least as vertiginous as chatting about vampires with you, I would say.
This must be all so new to you. This area of town, the hospital, a brand new life. How stimulating it must be.
I wish I could share your enthusiasm, Dr. Swansea, but my condition defies scientific categorization. Undead? Unalive? Immortality defies logic.
I cannot express my thrill at this serendipitous turn of events. The world's most eminent specialist in blood transfusions, a vampire. One might say a gift from heaven.
Ihre Worte sind tröstlich, das ist kein Geschenk. Ich bin ein Hymn
There
des
is an absurd
Paradox.
poetry to my situation. Physician, heal thyself.
Forgive me. I've been an admirer of your work for a long time, and now you are so much more than a brilliant physician. And please, call me Edgar.
Edgar. Das ist ein einfacher Name. Sie müssen sich nicht entschuldigen.
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have a task for you, Jonathan. Something that will require all your newfound
Ach,
skills.
daher wird der Wind.
Please, go on.
The Pembroke only survives through the generosity of our benefactors. Unfortunately, our main donor has found herself in a bit of a bind. Now, if you could help her out...
A spokesman or politician is what you need. That's not my calling. And until I come to understand what has happened to me, I require discretion.
Discretion is in order, Jonathan. Lady Ashbury has recently received rather indelicate correspondence that, if revealed, would jeopardize her position.
And you would like me to eradicate this threat?
By the stole, of course not. I would just like you to pay her a visit. Her ladyship is certainly near the tents outside, tending the sick. You can't miss her. Look for someone impossibly delicate.
Accepted. I'll see what kind of trouble Lady Ashbury is in.
Aha. Was war das? Ich hab gedacht, da kann man das einsacken. Aha. Jemand hat meine Decke gestohlen. Also wenn das das größte Problem ist in der Zeit, dass jemand eine Decke geklaut hat, ne? Na dann. Irgendwie da, irgendwo. Was ist mit dem großen... Meine Nase juckt. Nein, nein, nein.
Dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. You're in good hands here, and we'll be up again soon enough. Now do me a kindness and get some sleep. I'll be back round later.
Your words
A
are kind, the
background.
blessings of an angel. You're the sweet, sweet lady of mercy.
Warum hat der eigentlich keine Decke?
Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent appointment to Pembroke Hospital.
You're a the lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air.
Ach, die ist es.
I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed. Allow me to introduce myself formally.
Aha.
My name is Lady Ashbury. I remember you well, in spite of the brevity of our encounter.
Schön, ich fühle mich hinter das Licht geführt. Swansea hat eine... ja, Edgar oder so hieß der. Ein
So it seems our Dr. Swansea does indeed have a fascination for creatures of our constitution.
Dr. Swansea is a remarkable man. Dedicated, one might say, obstinate? He spent years compiling our bestiary.
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but our rather urgent matter first. Swansea has explained. My cover, if you prefer, has been compromised.
Ich bin hier
Dr.
im
Swansea
Zelt.
has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining what's amiss.
These past insufferable weeks, I've been the victim of extortion. I've made a first payment, but the blackmailer grows greedy. I must refuse his most recent demands.
Please continue. Every detail is essential. I'm your man.
My embarrassment in this matter is eclipsed only by my shame at having put the hospital at risk. The threat from our anonymous scoundrel is clear. A list of dates. My visits coinciding with the dates of suspicious patient deaths due to massive blood loss.
I'll take care of it. Do you know where I should start?
If that was the case, I'd settle the matter myself.
Ach
Talk
so.
to our local gossip, Harriet Jones. Not a pin drops here without her hearing about it.
Ach.
I'll meet that woman now.
My life, as others know, is in your hands, Dr. Reed. I'm sure of your discretion, but I do fear your powers of persuasion will be put to the test. When this is resolved,
Okay, es wird ein bisschen viel Spannung,
answer all
Kinas.
questions in regards of your condition.
Harriet. Brackman.
Good evening, nurse.
Kennen wir
I'm
die
Dr.
schon?
Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you.
Did he really? It's a good thing.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this.
Aber mit der haben wir noch gar nicht gesprochen.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Gerüchte über fragwürdige... Ich überlege gerade,
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy,
Ansparer Feinde.
more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
It's a very hard.
An invisible enemy. Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
Achso, das haben schon ein paar Leute gekündigt. Ja. Okay.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Bestimmt
Why should
nicht.
his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No, I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Aha.
Have you heard rumors of anything underhand going on here at the hospital?
No, Doctor. Never.
No, Doctor, never. Ah, da haben noch zwei Dinge
Goodbye,
festzustellen.
nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Aber mit ihr sollte ich eigentlich gar nicht reden, ne?
Fear and disgust on every street corner.
Alles Lügen.
Daily.
Was ist denn das? Okay, das kennen wir noch gar nicht.
What? What? What is this? Who are you? Get out of my room.
There's no need for alarm, madam.
out of
I'm
my
Dr.
room.
Reed, the new surgeon.
Preposterous. Dr. Reed, you say? I don't want some bumbling intern. Where's Dr. Swansea?
Dr. Swansea is quite busy, and I need you to help me get acclimated. I have many questions.
Help.
How brave. Threatening an old defenseless woman. You know how long I've been a patient here? You've picked the wrong fight.
Ich hab doch nur eine Frage gestellt, meine
Harriet
Güte.
Jones. Indeed. I've been meaning to have a chat with you. You know what goes on here better than any other patient, I gather.
Oh, better than any patient, nurse or doctor. I've seen so many vile undertakings.
I heard there have been some despicable goings-on. Was there a case of blackmail?
Blackmail? Wait. You're investigating something. This isn't a social call. One of those incompetent cunts slit a poor sod's vein.
Sind Sie Erpresserin? Sie mögen Draht.
If I didn't know better, Miss Jones, I'd be inclined to say you enjoy this type of idle gossip.
God's honest truth, Doctor. It's just the way it is here. Most of these bitches would let you freeze to death before getting you a blanket.
Okay. Aber die ist schon grob
I
unterwegs.
assure you, madam, this is not an investigation into a possible medical error.
Debauchery, then? Nurses Crane, Hawkins, Brannigans,
Alter.
They can't keep their legs shut. I've seen them scratching slutty sores.
Really? Well, if you have irrefutable proof, I'll not have the staff behaving in such a manner here.
This is your business, Doctor, not mine. But I swear one of the nurses is cavorting with some man on hospital hours.
Thank you for your time, Miss Jones. You've given me something to go on. See you on the next round.
Bis zur nächsten Visite.
The patients and staff might know something. I'll start my investigation with them.
Wen soll ich zuerst befragen? Einfaltspinsel. Schwester Pippa Hawkins. Bist du draußen? Oh ja, guck mal.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Ein seltsamer Mann die Schwester besucht.
What can you tell me about the strange man visiting one of the nurses during her shift?
Let me guess. You spoke with that old shrew, Harriet Jones.
Ja?
Pay attention to her, Doctor. She's full of fanciful tales.
No matter how you feel about her, Miss Jones deserves our help.
Who says I don't care for her? Hate is what keeps that old crone alive.
She could have been telling the truth about the mysterious man.
That old witch will end up in hell soon enough.
Oh, die hasst die aber echt.
Find some happiness where she can.
Die hat die...
What can you tell?
Let me get.
Also die hasst die ja echt. Finde Schwester Dorothy. Schwester Dorothy, Schwester Dorothy, wo bist du gelandet? Mit Puffmutter.
Blaming me will not further your agenda, sir. How long's it going to take to fix me properly? A month? A year? You have the right to disapprove of.
Good evening.
And good evening to you, Doc. Perhaps you're running so.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Ich will nicht gerne in die über.
My boy.
Ich will nicht
It's
gerne.
locked, all right.
Hä?
I'm so tired. Will this shift never end?
Aber wo ist Schwester Dorothy?
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit.
Warum ist Dorothy weg? What's going on? Dorothy. What are you doing? Schwester Dorothy ist weg.
Are going to reveal all your secrets to me, even the darkest.
Gesund. Schwester Dorothy! Nee, das ist nicht Schwester Dorothy, oder? Nee, das ist Hawkins. Schwester Dorothy. Das ist sie auch nicht. 44, 42. Es wird schon weniger. Das ist Schwester Dorothy.
It's only a matter of time before the Pembroke closes its doors for good.
Dorothy. What are you doing? Was versuchst du zu verheimlichen? Hm? Oh! Warum? Warte mal, aber warum? Das verstehe ich jetzt nicht. Fokussiere dich mal nicht auf die. Ich will mich gar nicht auf die fokussieren. Ach, da kann ich gar nicht lang. Ach so. Das ist ja mies, da komme ich ja nirgendwo runter. Das ist ja, ich weiß ja, wo die Alte ist. Aber ich kann mich... Aber warum kann ich da denn runter?
What must I do? This isn't even my neighborhood. No one is here. Relax. Don't worry, we're safe.
Dorothy Crane. Aber das ist doch Dorothy Crane. Aber wie komme ich da hin?
You're sure you don't come back with me?
Nah, I have to see someone at the hospital.
Be careful. You look so bad they may keep you as a patient.
Fuck 'em. I don't like hospitals or doctors.
Well then, when you go back to Whitechapel, you may find this useful.
What is it?
A pass for a free medical exam by the best nurse available. Just read it.
I don't read well, but thank you, I guess.
Gerne, gerne. Okay, wie schnell sie weg war. Okay, damit... Beziehungsweise will ich eigentlich gerne auch irgendwo speichern. Aber das Spiel speichert gerade automatisch. Raten. Ja. Kanalisation, geil. Okay, und damit würde ich sagen, beenden wir den Part. Lasst noch ein bisschen lieb da, ein Liken, aber oder Kommentar würde ich mich sehr freuen. Bis zum nächsten Mal bei Vampyr.